Weather Officer Irving Newton clarifies the Roswell incident of 1947. It had nothing to do with aliens. Here's a photo of the United States Air Force WX officer, weather officer Irving Newton in General Ramey's office just prior to General Ramey's press conference on July 8, 1947. In 1994, Irving Newton told investigators, "I remember Major Marcel chased me all around the room. He kept saying things like, 'Look how tough that metal is. Look at the strange markings on it.' While I was examining the debris, Marcel was picking up pieces of the radar target sticks and trying to convince me that some notations on the sticks were alien writings. But I was adamant that it was a weather balloon with a Raven, a radar target. I think he was embarrassed as crazy, and he would like to do anything to make that turn into a flying saucer." Now here's his official statement made on July 21st, 1994. "I was asked to provide this statement by Lieutenant Colonel Joseph V. Rogan, who advised me he was assisting in an investigation at the behest of the Secretary of the Air Force for the GAO to look into facts concerning what has become to be known as the Roswell incident. As I recall, it was July 1947. I was then a warrant officer with 7 years service. I was the only weather forecaster on duty in the Fort Worth Base Weather and Flight Service Center. The base weather covered only the base. The Flight Service Center covered most of the Southwest states. I received a call from someone in General Ramey's office who asked that I go to the General's office. I informed him that I was the only forecaster on duty and could not leave. Several minutes later, General Ramey himself called and said, 'Get your ass over here. If you don't have a car, take the first one with a key.' I was met at the General office by a lieutenant colonel or colonel who told me that someone had found a flying saucer in New Mexico and they had it in the general's office, and that a flight had been set up to send it to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. But the general's suspicion that it might be a meteorological equipment or something of that nature and wanted it examined by qualified meteorological personnel. The colonel and I walked into General's office where this supposed flying saucer was lying all over the floor. As soon as I saw it, I giggled and asked if that was the flying saucer. I was told it was. Several people were in the room when I went in, among them General Ramey, a couple of press people, a major, I learned to be Major Marcel, and some other folks. Some introduced Major Marcel as the person who found this material. I told them that this was a balloon and a Raven. I believed this because I had seen many of these before. They were normally launched by a special crew and followed by a ground radar unit. They provided a higher altitude winds aloft. We did not use them at Fort Worth. However, I was familiar with them because we used them and their products on various projects in which I was involved. These were used mostly on special projects and overseas. The balloon was made out of a rubber-type expandable material and when launched was about 6 to 8 feet across. When the balloons got to altitude, they expanded to 20 feet or more. The target was used for radar reflections and I believe each leg of the target was approximately 48 inches. It resembled a child's jack, like a child's ball and jacks set, with a metallic material between the legs. The legs were made of material appearing to be like balsa wood kite sticks, but much tougher. While I was examining the debris, Major Marcel was picking up pieces of the target sticks and trying to convince me that some notations on the sticks were alien writings. There were figures on the sticks, lavender or pink in color, appeared to be weather-faded markings with no rhyme or reason. He did not convince me these were alien writings. I was convinced at that time that this was a balloon with a railwind target and remained convinced. I remember hearing the general tell someone to cancel the flight to Wright-Patterson. While in the office, several pictures were taken of Major Marcel, General Ramey, myself, and others. I was dismissed and went to my office to resume my normal duties. During the ensuing years, I have been interviewed by many authors. I have been quoted and misquoted. The facts remain as indicated above. I was not influenced during the original interview, nor today, to provide anything but what I know to be true. That is, the material I saw in General Ramey's office as the remains of a balloon and a railwind target. Please also read the complete story here on the website. Roswell, 1947, Creation of a Modern Myth, How It All Started. This is Norio Hayakawa in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, USA.